Looking at your partner and suddenly questioning, do I actually love them? Am I actually attracted to them? Why am I even in this relationship anyway? Are obviously very difficult questions to ask yourself. The amount of pain, the amount of shame that you can feel about this is often unbearable. And this is what people with relationship OCD often go through all the time. It's a kind of silent thing. They might keep it to themselves, but on the inside, they may be really struggling with their relationship, with rumination about the relationship. Even if on the outside things appear to be normal, that you're in a happy relationship, your friends might comment, "Oh, you seem so happy. You're in a great relationship. This person is so great for you." All of that aside, that stuff is kind of irrelevant in a way. It's not really important because the thing that we're kind of focused on is actually, the kind of fear that we have about the relationship, the uncertainty that perhaps we have about it. It's not that the relationship is actually wrong most of the time. Most of the time in relationship OCD, the relationship is actually, perfectly okay. Of course, there may be imperfections. There may be things about your relationship that aren't exactly how you would like them to be. But, most of the time, there isn't really grounds to break up with somebody. Really what we're experiencing is a lot of anxiety. We're focusing so much on wanting to have that feeling of being in love. We're focusing so much on wanting to have that sense of connection, of attraction, of always feeling those things that, when they're not there, we get frustrated, we get worried, we get really kind of upset, thinking, I'm making a huge mistake here. I'm kind of staying in this relationship with this person when actually there's all sorts of signs kind of telling me that perhaps I shouldn't, that this relationship isn't the best one for me, that I could be much happier if I tried with somebody else. And I'm now missing that opportunity because, I'm not actually allowing myself to meet anybody else because I'm staying in this relationship and, it might be the wrong one. If I don't act soon, then, I'm really going to miss out. I'm going to get older. Time is going to move on by, and I'm going to be even more frustrated, even more stuck. And this is a very negative place to obviously find yourself. This is something that I struggled with myself for many, many years where, I would get into a relationship and it would be, great for a while. And then at some point, one day, some doubt would pop up into my head about something. And I would begin to ruminate on it. I would begin to get lost in that thought. And if you're struggling with relationship OCD, I do now have a 12-week program that is specifically designed to help you to break free. It's based on my own personal experiences of dealing with relationship OCD and other types of OCD over many years, and also having helped hundreds of people through that process as well. If you're interested in finding out more about that, you can head over to my website, robertjamescoaching.com, to book in for a free discovery call. I would be trying to kind of prove it wrong all the time. And the more that I ruminated, of course, the more stuck I was getting with that thought. And if at some point I did kind of get to some more certainty about it, because I'd actually created this kind of loop of, whenever I felt bad about the relationship, I had to kind of ruminate on it or get reassurance in some way. Typically what would happen is once I did begin to feel better about one particular obsession about the relationship, I would then notice something else that I didn't like. And that could be, a kind of the way that my partner looked sometimes. It could be to do with certain clothing that they might wear. It might be to do with certain attitudes that they might have about things. You name it, all sorts of different things. The mind is very creative at finding things to kind of ruminate on about our partner and about our relationship. And, we obsess as to whether we're really attracted enough, whether our personalities match in the right way, whether we're actually fully in love or we're just kind of pretending, or we're putting on an act to ourselves and really deep down, we're not in love at all. And I think sometimes we can also get confused by trying to get in touch with intuition, We tell ourselves, I just need to kind of get in touch with that gut feeling. My gut knows what's going on here. And, if I stop thinking about it so much, then I can get in touch with that kind of gut feeling and know what I'm feeling more deeply. And that will be the real me. But typically what happens when we start trying to do that is we end up just thinking about the gut feeling. We end up ruminating on that gut feeling. Really, trying to get in touch with that gut feeling ends up becoming another compulsion. So what is the way out of all of this stuff? Well, in my experience, what I had to go through and what I had to learn to do was to learn to let go of looking for that certainty all the time. And, of course, that's very, very uncomfortable. We don't want to let go of looking for that certainty. Relationships are very important to you, clearly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be giving this so much thought, so much energy, so much time. And so, the idea of kind of letting go of that search for certainty about this is very, very uncomfortable. But the reality is that when you start coming back to the present, and I'm sure you've experienced this numerous times yourself, when you allow yourself to be present with your partner, when you let go of the rumination and you just come back, to focusing on what's going on in front of you in this moment, often we do begin to feel better. And the realization hits that, right now in this moment, well, actually, I'm quite happy with this person. It may not be perfect, but I'm having a good day with them and I do feel a bit more connected with them. There is some kind of feelings of attraction there. But if we're always stuck in our heads and we're always thinking and we're always searching for that, we're always demanding to feel the right way, demanding to be in touch with our kind of gut feeling, really what happens is we stop all of that stuff from happening. So learning how to let go and come into the present moment is an absolutely essential skill in learning how to overcome relationship OCD. And like I say, for myself these days, this is something that really haunted me for a long time. And thankfully today, with my fiance, and I'm pretty happy. We have 2 children together. If you'd asked me that a number of years ago, if I would be in this position with her, I would have absolutely said no, because I was just kind of ruminating about the relationship all the time. And today, okay, yeah, it's not perfect. There's some ups and downs at times. Of course, there's challenges like with every relationship, but I'm happy now. I'm not ruminating about it all the time. I'm just enjoying the process a lot more. I'm much more present, and therefore I'm able to enjoy my relationship and really to appreciate her, to be happy with her. And, this is something that's really helped me to kind of transform my life in a way. I'm so much happier these days than I used to be when I was ruminating all the time about my relationship and about other forms of OCD as well. So I really hope that you found that helpful. If you have any questions at all, do please let me know. And remember, if you want to check out my program for OCD and anxiety, you can by heading over to my website, robertjamescoaching.com. And there you can book in for a free discovery call. Many thanks, and I will see you next time. This video is for education only. It's not therapy or medical advice. If you're struggling, please speak with a licensed mental health professional.